from HSTV, and in today's video, as you can see by the video title, I'm going to be sharing some things that I wish I knew before starting medical school, during my first year of medical school, so that, you can avoid and you can think deep about some stuff which will help your transition from high school or from wherever you were into medicine a lot smoother. And yeah, let's go. So if you're new to the channel and you don't know who I am, my name is Heen. I am a 4th year medical student here at the University of Edinburgh. And yeah, I started medical school in 2020, the wonderful COVID year. So there was a lot of challenges anyway, and I was lucky because I was staying home. I wasn't moving city, I wasn't moving out. There was none of that, right? But I can't imagine what it would have been like to have all of that happening during COVID. So yeah, certainly I'm very grateful that we are over that now. But yeah, I think there was a lot of stuff that I underestimated. And yeah, I hope that you can learn from some of, my regrets or mistakes that I felt I made in first year. Okay, so like the first misconception I had, and I think this was just a psychological thing, right? So all throughout high school, my goal was get into medical school. Actually, it wasn't probably all throughout high school. It was more from like S4, because before that I wanted to be a dentist, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, for like a lot of years, I was very focused on the end goal is to get into medicine. So when I finally got into medicine, I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know where my life was going next, right? I didn't think about what I was like actually gonna study or how I was going to study or, societies, or I just didn't think about any of that because I was so focused on working hard to make my medicine application really strong and trying to make the medical schools really like me and doing all the stuff like interview skills and this and that. Like I never really thought about anything beyond medicine because also at the back of my mind was, I'm probably not going to get in, right? So when I did get in, I didn't feel prepared at all for what I was actually going to face. And for some reason in my mind, I thought medical school is like the end goal. But what I didn't get was this was going to be the beginning of a whole new journey. And I didn't realize how big medicine was until I got into medicine. So I would say definitely do your research. Thankfully, medicine is more than what I hoped it to be, and I'm very grateful. But yeah, I think I needed to do more research because on the topic of research, I didn't even know how much amazing research was going on in medicine. I didn't know the different types of research, and yeah, of course you're taught all of that. You're not expected to be a medical student or a doctor when you apply, but yeah, I just wish that I had a bit of a different mindset when it came to that. So yeah, just do more research, and please know that medicine is like a whole new world and you'll only get that feeling once you get there. So I know for the applicants right now, they're going to be thinking, get into medical school, that's it. But no, this is about far more than that. You're actually going to be a doctor saving people's lives. And I know you say that in your interview, but actually doing it is just a whole different feeling, Okay, so another thing which I would agree was perpetuated by COVID was joining societies and clubs. So I remember in high school, I was like team captain of the badminton team, really into that stuff. I was doing Model United Nations. I was a big debater, public speaker, all that great stuff going on. And then, yeah, when I got to university, I never really joined a proper society or a club. It wasn't only, I think it was more into second year that I started joining like cardiovascular society, cardiothoracic society, because that's where my academic interests now lie, and I do a lot of that in my free time. But yeah, in terms of the sports side, I haven't played badminton since joining university. So this has been one of my regrets and something that I want to get back into. Maybe not as a proper society or club with the university, but perhaps, doing it privately. So yeah, please don't forget about your societies and your hobbies and things like that when you come to university. And thank goodness COVID is over, so you really don't have an excuse now not to join societies. Most of them are free anyway. Great way to meet people and things. And you might even find new interests. Like for me, I've now got an interest in kickboxing, so that's a thing. But again, that's something I do privately, and it's taken me like 3-4 years to find an interest in sport because I don't know what I was doing like the past 3 years, to be honest. Okay, let's get to the serious stuff now. So everybody talks about medical school having a lot of workload. Everybody talks about university life being a lot more independent. But really, high school cannot prepare you for university. And I think this is regardless of what course you go on to do, but especially medicine, because it's quite a difficult degree, right? In high school, we don't realize it, but we are really spoon-fed information. We are given notes, we are sort of told to do everything. But when you get to university, the responsibility is on you. No one's gonna tell you to take notes. I remember because we were getting teaching during COVID, we had all the lectures uploaded online. So for me, doing, very spoon-fed work, and then suddenly, in the space of a few months, going to totally independent work, was a very big jump. So yeah, like I wish that I knew that jump was coming and someone had kind of exaggerated that more for me. But again, high school can't prepare you for that. So even when I got into things like digital note-taking, a lot of what you see on this channel, I didn't do any of that in high school. So it was a very steep learning curve, getting used to all the technology, getting used to using and navigating university portal. I still remember my hardest week of medical school thus far has been my first week of medical school. And the reason was, it was just like a lot of work, a lot of just new things to learn. And obviously you're excited, but you're also nervous. And it was like a lot to take in. And I wish someone had told me that a bit more. Okay, something else that was a bit of a bombshell was the relationship with teachers and professors is totally different at university. So in school, we are very used to saying Mrs. Smith, Mr. Brown, and I've always had a really lovely relationship with teachers. I'd always be that person sitting at the front of the class asking questions, having a lot of chit chat with the teacher, and for me that really helped to consolidate my concepts. Now when I came to university, again, COVID was not helping this because I was sat in my room, but honestly, I didn't know any professor, I couldn't name a single teacher, and I felt really sad about that, and I felt it really affected my learning experience. It's only now when we've had a bit of fourth year induction that we're actually getting to meet a lot of those familiar voices that we had during lectures in first and second year. We are really an exceptional year because we had COVID come along, but the relationship is very different. And what I've also felt is there's not really a hierarchy as much anymore. At university, they're like your colleagues rather than, you're this like upper figure that's telling you what to do. So in university there's a lot more flexibility over how you learn with these professors and these teachers, and there's some really lovely people, but there's also people who are really like deep into their field, and the way they sometimes teach you lectures is really advanced. So you have to find ways in which you can navigate contacting these types of professors and these types of teachers to really extract what you need at your level for your exams, because there's not like a curriculum like tick checklist that you get at the start of the year that this is what you need to know, because this is medicine, you're going to be doctors. It's not like this is what you need to know, because you're going to see patients of all kind and eventually you're going to need to know everything or as much as you can. So that is a big difference between high school and university. Okay, so I've sort of touched on this a little bit, but I just want to talk a bit about study techniques at university. Now, in high school, I was a very traditional learner, if you will. Even, back in the day, the technology wasn't really a big part of studying. I was very classical, as in pen, paper, and just kind of writing things again and again, and those methods have proven not to be very effective as well. So in medical school, I was trialing many other techniques, many other ways that I wish I'd at least trialed a little bit whilst I was at high school. So I would recommend that you trial different note-taking, digital note-taking apps, you trial different devices, what works for you, tablets, iPads, laptops, typed notes, handwritten notes, even things like Anki, so like flashcards, all this sort of stuff. I felt that I didn't really explore that much in high school because I just had these standard methods that I used and they worked, so I didn't look any further. But at university, there's a variation of content that you need to learn, and one technique is not going to be enough for everything. So that's another thing that you should start trialing from high school. Alright guys, well that is going to be the end of this video. I hope this has been useful, and congratulations to everybody who has gotten into medical school, who's going to be starting in August and September this year. Especially if you're coming to Edinburgh Medical School, if you see me around, please do say hi, say hello, and yeah, it's going to be really lovely seeing the first years come in. I always feel like a little bit nervous for them because I remember when I was in first year, but also it gets a lot better as you move up the years. Also, you guys don't have to worry of COVID as well, so that is going to be brilliant. And yeah, you just have a good time at uni. Even if you're at medical school, yeah, it's going to be hard at times, but you are a student just like any other student doing any other degree, so make the most of it because you're going to be here a while. 6 years at Edinburgh, 5 years in most of the places, it's a long time. So yeah, definitely enjoy it, and yeah, things get better as you move up. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video guys. Thank you so much for watching.